This question here, we're going to have a look today at a little bit of perspective. Okay, so we have it done, so I don't expect it's too much bother. It's just a little bit of a revision just to go over it. Of course, we can't be in the room going over it, so we have to still go over it before the end of 5th year. So we'll have a go at this one. It's probably one of the harder ones that's on it. Okay, but I still don't expect it to cause you too much bother. So graphic on the right shows Dublin's new soccer and rugby stadium. The modern design is lower in height at one end in order to minimise the impact on local residents. So it's lower here, they're saying for the residents that'll be around that area. So figure B1 shows below the planned elevation of a portion of a model that is stand at the lower end. Okay, so you can see it here. Pictorial view of the structure is also shown here. So that's our planned elevation. So first thing then, we draw the given plan. Make a perspective of the drawn structure given the following information. So the spectator being 1.8 meters from corner A. The picture plane is touching corner A. And the horizontal line is 2 meters above the ground line. So here's that corner A they're on about there. Okay. Now always this is scale 1 is a 20. Okay. So it's 20 times smaller than the actual measurements that are here. So that's the first thing you do. Always you go around, you cross them off, you put on your measurements that you're drawn it as. For example, say 2000, right? That'll become 100 on your drawn. Okay, so change them straight away. 400 becomes 20, 840, etc. all the way around. Okay. Okay, now where was it there? Oh, let's see that measure. So 1.8 meters. Alright, so that's 1,800. Okay, divided by 20, that's going to become 90. Okay, the spectator will be 90 then from a corner A at an angle of 45. Okay, so I'm just going to go now, I'm going to line up my plan and here in the top left hand corner, and then I'm going to work from there. Okay, so there's that plan there fully lined out. Now obviously we're looking straight down top of the roof. So every line underneath is dotted. The roof is a solid slope roof. So it shows the positions of all the lines underneath it, and they're all shown up there as dotted lines in that drawing there. Okay, so now I want to set up my spectator. He's at an angle, or she, maybe it is a she, is at an angle of 45 degrees from corner A, and we said he or she is at a distance of, we said 90. Okay, so first of all, knock on my 45. Okay, measure my distance there of 90. So that's where my spectator is. So that's point S. Okay, so that's that located. Now I need to locate my vanishing point. So I need to set up my picture plane. In order to set up my picture plane, I put in my cone of vision. What is my cone of vision exactly? So there's my spectator. He's looking at that object. He sees it like that there. That's one corner he sees, or she. And that's the other corner the spectator sees. Okay? And the picture plane then basically is going to be a line. If we were to cut that angle in two, so bisect that angle, okay, the picture plane then is going to be a plane, like a big sheet of glass, okay, and it's going to be 90 degrees then basically to that bisector. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to do now. So I'm going to join my spectator to my extreme corners. That's my spectator there. Bisect that angle. So at that point there, it's not exactly on that 45 degree line. It's not too far off it. Okay. And now I'm going to be drawing line 90 degrees. So that's all. I'll just put that in actually in red. My center line of vision here, I'm just putting in red. Okay. It's not exactly lined up with my 45 degree line. It's not too far off it. And then I'm going to draw a line 90 degrees to that for my picture plane. Okay. I want to bring this up to touch corner A. Okay, so that's my picture plane there drawn in. Okay, so for my picture plane, I'll just put it in a blue. Okay, and now from my spectator, I want to locate my vanishing points. So I go parallel to my two outside edges to locate that. Okay, so I'm going to go parallel to my spectator in a, say, a vertical position and a horizontal position. Okay, so that's easy enough to do. So that is going to be VPL, which is the vanishing point on the left. That's what that stands for. And I'm going to do this lad here, obviously then VPR, vanishing point on the right. Okay, and I want to draw my ground. So in order to do that, I now, if you like, for all the world, undrawn the elevation. Obviously, this is the plan of it. We said this is our sheet of glass here, kind of put in as our picture plane. My picture plane. Draw my elevation of it. So I'm going to come down kind of as low as I can really from my ground, just to make sure I fit it all in. I'm going to draw a line parallel to the picture plane, and then I draw my horizon line parallel to that again. Okay. Now, so at this stage, I'd often tell lads, take off the sheet, reposition it on parallel with your picture plane, and that way it makes it an awful lot easier. So now I have my sheet restuck on, and my set square is parallel to my picture plane. So I came down there, and I could come down further on the sheet, but it won't fit on the screen on the camera. I see if I do. So I've come down as far as I think I should be able to fit it in. And my horizon line then, so my green line here is my ground line. So that's my ground line. And my horizon line is 100 mil above that. Okay, so all I need to do from now on is just use my set square as normal. Okay, so I'm going to mark up 100 mil. I draw in my horizon line. And I'm just going to put that horizon line the same as in my plan. I have my picture plane in blue. So I'm just going to actually put this in blue here as well. Okay, so that's going to be my horizon line. Locate my vanishing points on that horizon line. I just drop them what is now just vertically down. Okay, so my VPL, my left vanishing point, and my VPR, my right vanishing point. They are located on the horizon line. Okay, so that's the whole drawing set up. Now for the perspective part, so anything that touches the picture plane is a true length. Okay, so the picture plane is only touching corner A. Okay, so anything that touches the picture plane appears as a true length. So normally what we do is we look at it from the spectator, we look at a point, we're across the picture plane, we drop it down parallel to our center line of vision. Okay, which in our case now is all just vertical lines, the way I had the sheet reorientated on the board. Okay, so first of all my corner A, so our spectator looks there at corner A. Okay, so where that hits the picture plane, we drop that down, and that becomes a true length from the ground up. Okay, or a true height, I should say, from the ground up. Okay, so I'm marking a true height there on that line. Something that I find a bit funny. The advantage of reorientating your sheet, of course, is all vertical lines. Now, if you have an adjustable, you might get over that, but sometimes a lot of lads, they're twisting the adjustable, they don't know what way to use it, so this kind of gets around that problem as well. Now, the height there of that corner A, looking at my question, now that is a height of 10. Okay, so all those steps actually are a height of 10. So that's corner A there, and that first step is a height of 10 in my drawing here. Okay, so I can first of all vanish this back to that vanishing point, which is in line with there. So it vanishes back. And the same for the other side. From here, when I'm looking at it, it vanishes back over this way, which is for this vanishing point, which is over here. Okay, and that's the true height of it, which is 10. So that also vanishes back to that side. It also vanishes back to this side. Okay, so that's the only part there that's going to be true height. That's the only part that's touching my picture plane as such. Okay, so that's the only part that's going to be a true height. Now, I can find the very back point if I want. I'm looking at it, cuts through the picture plane here. I'm looking at this side, cuts through the picture plane here. Okay, so the spectator looks at it, so he's already joined to it. So just project that down at that side, project that down at that side. So it's the front of the stadium, if you like, or the front of the steps. This is the side wall of it. Okay. Finish that off there. And that's kind of like the back wall there. Okay, that'll be the back wall of my roof going up there. Okay, that's my front edge. Now, I want to position the rest of the steps. So I'm going to position them, the side view, I'm going to mark them all out here first. So the spectator looking at the individual steps. So remember, they all have to join back to the spectator. One back here. It's also joined back, and where they cut through the picture plane, you can drop them down into your view then, okay? So the point of the pencil, where it cuts through the picture plane, and then I can drop it down. Okay, now I want to start marking out the heights here. Now I can mark them all as true lengths on my true length line. This is my true length line. Okay, because that's up against the picture plane right here. So that's my true length line. I can mark them on my true length line, and then I can vanish them back along. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 steps that are 10 high. We have the first one done. So we can do the other 2. And here, and I can vanish them back along. Okay, and then we bring them to the corresponding ones that we drop down from here. Okay, so as we're looking at that drawing there, that's the way it's going to line up. Okay. The first step. Second one, and the third one then is the longer step. Okay, and there's a little bit there at the bottom as well if I'm just looking at my question. Okay, there's a little section here at the bottom and a bit here at the back as well. Okay, and I know that that's 20 wide, that's also 20 wide. Okay, and this point is in line with this second step. So where we vanish that back from my second step, the point is going to be there. So now the second step. Okay, now I can start vanishing these back to the other vanishing point. Okay, as I done with this one here. I'd include that guy here, the bottom of it, that will go underneath the steps at that point there, and I won't see it anymore, but I still need to vanish it back along. Okay, so that's that little point there, and I'll vanish back the rest of them also. Now these lines are light until I make out exactly where they're disappearing and where I can see them from. Okay, so they're all fairly light there at the moment. Okay, and then I'm going to heavy them in then after that. Okay, so I need to look at them then at this side of my object and then drop them down. Okay, so we do know there's a wall running along there. Okay, so I might just put that in there for, excuse me, put that in there first, that wall there running along the side. So that's at the far side away from corner A, okay? So that's my corner A down here. The wall is going to be running up along here, okay? And then the steps will kind of run into that wall almost, okay? So my spectator looks at the edge of the wall here. We're across the picture plane, drop it down. And that's where it cuts then here, where it meets that first step. We can see that there in the question. Okay, where it meets that first step there. Okay, which is this point over here. Okay, and then the height of this is in line with the third step. Okay. Like my third step, that's my first mistake, that's my third one. That's already vanished back, so it's going to go as high as that there, that wall on that side. Okay, and it's also R20 thick, so we dropped it down, so that's the thickness of the wall there. It's going to run like that, drop down, and it kind of blends in with the first step there, just looking at the pictorial that I'm given. Oops. So it blends in, bottom of it kind of blends in with the top of the first step, so there's no definitive line there as such. This will go across. Okay, and that's going to slope all the way up then, and it gives a height then of 1200 there as the full size measurement there for that. So I know 1200, so divided by 27, it's going to become 60. So we can measure up our 60 on our true length line, and we can vanish it back along. That's my 60 there on my true length line, and we're vanishing back along here. Okay, so that'd be it. If I was looking at the very front of it there, that'd give me a true height of 60. Okay, and that'll give me my corner from my wall almost at this side, where it'll run across then onto that vanishing point. Okay, so again, lightly, just going to vanish that over. Okay, but this one here now will need to run up also to be in line with that. We can see that there again in our drawing. Okay, so that's the line after drawn over, and now I can extend this one up there to meet it. Okay, so again, I can up here if I want, look at it in my drawing where it cuts the picture plane, then drop it down. That's what we'll do. We'll look at it there. Okay, I could have looked at it this guy here either. It's going to give us the same result. It's vanishing back to the same place. Where I cut to my picture plane, I drop it down into my view. That's going to give me my point there. And that edge actually continues all, that wall actually continues all the way across there. Let's do it for the second one. Yeah, so it continues all the way across to that point. Okay, and then it'll slope down. And now I can run my steps across basically to meet the wall at that side there. And that is where they meet them. I can see that clearly. So spectator again looks at the point. It cuts through the picture plane, drop it down. So that is for the first step. So that's that point there. Okay, and I do the same there for the second one. So spectator looks at it, cuts through the picture plane, drop that down. So point where it cuts through, sets go up to meet it, drop that down. So that is the top of the second step. And I have the other one already done, the top of the third one. So I'm just going to move it over to it. So I'm following the right line. That's the top then of my third step. Okay. And all those vanish to this vanishing point. They're going that direction, so they vanish to that vanishing point there. So just line in the tops of them first, which will vanish at this vanishing point because they're going that direction. over to that vanishing point, so they'll all go over to there. Let's go here. This guy here, we see they do line up perfectly. Okay, so there's our steps lined out, there's our wall lined out. Now this wall does extend up and then it shoots up in the air. We're going to use what we call auxiliary vanishing points to find that out there. So it tells us in the question, use an auxiliary vanishing point to locate the sloping edges of the roof. Okay, it tells in the question that the angle of the roof is at an angle of 30 degrees. So that's what we're going to use now to find out our auxiliary vanishing points. For my auxiliary vanishing point, from my normal vanishing line, I'm going to measure up my angle at 30. So I'll do that there first. So from my normal vanishing point, I'm going to measure up there my angle at 30 degrees. Okay, so extend that. Put it in a different colour so I can extinguish it. So there is my, distinguish it. There is my angle at 30 degrees. Okay, marked in there. Now what I want to do is from that vanishing point that I have, okay, I'm going to make an angle there of 90 degrees until it strikes that 30 degree line. So for all the world, you see how that looks. So I'm going to make an angle there, kind of a 90 degrees here, until it strikes that 30 degree line. So for my normal okay, so that angle there now is 90 degrees, and that now is the height that I'm going to use for my auxiliary vanishing points. Okay, so I get my compass and I set my compass then to that height. Okay, now it could have gone on that way, or it's going to give me the same result, and it mightn't actually overlap on the plan, which might be a better idea. Now, what to do with that height after you have it set? So I just want to extend that. Now, basically, we mark it either up or down from a horizon line, depending on what way the slope is going. So if I walk towards corner A, like that slope is actually going then back down away from me, back down to the ground. Okay, so for all the world, here is my object. The Victoria isn't great because I'm actually drawing the other direction almost. So if I walk towards corner A there from where I am, from where the spectator is, the slope is going back down away from me. So that means my vanishing point will be down below the horizon line. Okay, because the slope is going down and away. Okay, so below the horizon line, I mark off that distance there for that slope. This is VPL, VPR, and that's AUX VP. So that's my auxiliary vanishing point down below there now. So basically that's how I'm going to now drop my points down. Okay, so I know it's going from this point anyway. So the sloping from that point first. So for the sloping roof, it is sloping from this point. Okay, so that's going to be the slope of my roof there now, going up like that. Okay, where it cuts through there, that's going to be where the top of the roof finishes. So I can just drop that down and locate it there in that view. And I've already done that. It's actually in line with corner A. So there's that front point of my roof. And this one, it just goes to the normal vanishing point. At the top of the roof just goes to the normal vanishing point because it's going in this direction here, and it's horizontal or level in that direction if you want. So that's just going to go to that normal vanishing point over there that I already have. That's the other side of it. So there is that roof now lined in. Okay. Now, so that then slopes back down. That's going to slope back down into that side. So if you look, the 3 points actually line up. So my auxiliary vanishing point, this corner here, and that part of that roof, they all line up into one line. Okay. Now obviously we want to add that bit of thickness there to the roof. So it's obviously in line with this here. And if we look at it, look at our question, that comes straight out. Sorry, I get the question there. Okay, so that's where the back slope of that roof is. Okay, that comes straight across and then it slopes up the way. So it's sloping from here. Now auxiliary vanishing point again, through that point and slope it up the way until it ends up over corner A again. That should have been heavy from here actually. And that slopes down. And that's down to corner A, or down in line with that. There is actually touching my picture plane there as well. And it slopes to there, but it's heavy from here. Okay, so there's that object done. Sorry, I will have a line, a vertical line to put in here. Okay, so there's that stadium lined out in our perspective view. Okay, so a bit of setup with our vanishing points and that, but once you get used into the way it is going, it is a handy question. Okay, just looking back at it there now, that's all. There's no part B or anything like that inside our part C or that in it.